Imagine this: you sit in front of your computer, holding a task you've been postponing for a long time. The task list on the screen blinks at you, reminding you, it's time to do it. You know clearly that these tasks are crucial, that they affect your future success and the quality of your life. Yet, you can't take the first step. Your fingers hover over the keyboard, your gaze frequently drifting away, looking for other things to fill the empty space. You tell yourself, I'll do it later. And then, another hour, even two, pass by. You finally start, but deep down, you know you've already missed the optimal time, feeling guilty and frustrated. What exactly are you avoiding? This isn't the first time, is it? Perhaps it has become a pattern. Every time you set goals, every time you have determination, but every time you fail. You may have thought it was just a simple habit issue, maybe laziness or lack of self-discipline. You might ask yourself, am I just not strong enough, or do I simply lack motivation? But is that really the root of the problem? Have you ever considered that what you're avoiding might be more than just the task at hand, the pressure of work, or perhaps something deeper within you, fears, anxieties, or a resistance to change? Why is it that despite knowing you should, you still can't bring yourself to act? You can't help but ask, what exactly are you avoiding? This question is not just about procrastination or self-discipline. It cuts deep into the very core of your psychology. Perhaps you've always thought you're just procrastinating, or maybe you've made excuses like, I'm waiting for the right inspiration, the perfect timing. But do you truly understand what you're avoiding? Avoidance, a seemingly simple issue, is actually about a deeper internal conflict. You tell yourself you'll start today, that today will be different. But each time you procrastinate, you're avoiding something, a fear you haven't confronted, an inner resistance you refuse to acknowledge. The ultimate question lies here: what are you truly avoiding? Once you face this question, everything else will begin to make sense. Because once you stop running from what's inside you, you'll start to understand the real reason behind your procrastination and self-sabotage. Avoidance isn't just about procrastination or lack of motivation, it's rooted in a deeper fear within your subconscious. The real fear isn't the task itself but confronting parts of yourself you'd rather not face. At its core, avoidance often stems from the fear of failure, but it's more than not completing a task. It's about avoiding the identity tied to that task. You protect yourself from confronting insecurities and feelings of inadequacy. Jung's concept of the shadow explains this well: the parts of ourselves we suppress may be the key to growth. Avoiding a task could mean avoiding the confrontation with your own shadow. There's also a fear of success. Success demands responsibility, higher expectations, and stepping into a bigger version of yourself. It's easier to avoid success than to deal with the pressure and discomfort that comes with it. In a society that values perfection and achievement, both failure and success can be terrifying. Success means vulnerability and scrutiny, which we often avoid due to anxiety and fear of judgment. Avoidance also stems from a fear of change. Every step forward requires stepping outside your comfort zone, which can feel like a loss. We cling to the familiar, even if it holds us back. What are you willing to lose to grow? Societal pressures also shape this avoidance, tying success to material achievement, status, and approval. This creates a distorted view of success that fuels anxiety and insecurity, preventing you from pursuing personal growth and the version of yourself you fear becoming. So, what are you really avoiding? It's not just the task, it's the emotional, psychological, and existential shifts that come with it. Beneath procrastination lies a fear of change, vulnerability, and the unknown parts of yourself. Procrastination is a self-protection mechanism that keeps you from facing uncomfortable truths. But in avoiding these truths, you remain stuck in stagnation. The real challenge is facing the discomfort that comes with growth, change, and confronting the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. Only by confronting these fears can you take the first step toward the life you truly desire. Avoidance isn't just procrastination, it's a hidden force shaping your life. Every time you avoid something, you're not only postponing a task, but also altering your future, emotional state, and self-image. The first consequence of avoidance is eroding self-trust. When you don't follow through, you break trust in yourself. Over time, this leads to self-doubt, making it harder to take action and believe in your abilities. Avoidance also harms relationships. Avoiding difficult conversations creates emotional distance. While you may think you're protecting yourself, you're actually pushing others away and limiting growth. It also robs you of fulfillment. Growth comes from facing discomfort, not avoiding it. By delaying, you miss the rewards of overcoming challenges. Mentally, avoidance causes clutter. The mind doesn't forget, it holds on to tasks, creating anxiety and stress. This strain prevents you from focusing on what matters. Avoidance steals your control. Each time you avoid, you give up your power, letting avoidance dictate your life. The real danger lies in avoiding the avoidance itself. The more you delay, the more ingrained it becomes, trapping you in a cycle of inaction. You might think you're avoiding a task, but you're really avoiding change, growth, and confronting your fears. Each moment of avoidance keeps you in a comfort zone, preventing you from reaching your potential. Avoidance becomes part of your identity, reinforcing the cycle. The only way to break free is to confront what you're avoiding, face your fears, and reclaim your power. Ask yourself again, what are you really avoiding? Confronting it is the only way to break the barrier between you and the life you want. Now that we've uncovered the hidden layers of avoidance, it's time to ask yourself, how do you break free from this cage you've unknowingly built around yourself? The first step in breaking free is realizing that your avoidance is not the enemy, but a signal. It is telling you that something is wrong, something is being left unaddressed, and that something within you is begging for attention. It is an invitation to face something deeper, something uncomfortable, but also something that, once confronted, will liberate you in ways you cannot yet comprehend. What if I told you that the key to breaking free lies in embracing discomfort? In a world that prizes comfort, instant gratification, and ease, this may seem counterintuitive. But the truth is, avoidance thrives on comfort. The more you seek to avoid discomfort, the more you entrench yourself in a cycle of stagnation. The moment you start stepping into the discomfort, the uncertainty, the fear, the unknown, you begin to break the hold avoidance has over you. Think about it, every major transformation in your life, every time you've grown, learned, and evolved, came with some level of discomfort. The discomfort of trying something new. The discomfort of facing a fear. The discomfort of stepping out of your comfort zone. Growth does not come from avoiding the hard parts of life, it comes from confronting them. It's in this confrontation with discomfort that you find your true strength. But how do you begin to embrace discomfort? How do you confront what you've been avoiding for so long? Here's the first step, start small. You don't need to take on the most difficult, life-altering task right away. Begin with something manageable. Start with the task or decision that's been weighing on your mind, the one you know you've been avoiding but that feels like a small yet significant step forward. Break it down into smaller pieces so that the task doesn't feel so overwhelming. And then, as you take action, observe your resistance. Notice how your mind tries to pull you away from the task. Your thoughts might begin to justify why you should put it off. It's not the right time, I'll do it later, it's not a big deal. But this is where you must challenge yourself. Instead of letting these thoughts take control, ask yourself why you feel the need to avoid this task. What is it that you're truly afraid of? Are you afraid of failure, rejection, or something deeper? The more you investigate your resistance, the more you will uncover the root cause of your avoidance. The second step in breaking free is to reframe your relationship with failure. Avoidance often stems from a fear of failure. You may be avoiding a certain task or decision because you're afraid you won't succeed, or that you'll make a mistake. But what if failure was not something to avoid, but something to embrace? Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the process of growth. Every time you fail, you gain insight, you learn something new, and you get one step closer to success. When you stop fearing failure, you can start to see it as a valuable tool for self-improvement. It's no longer a reason to avoid, but a reason to act. The key is not to let failure stop you, but to use it as fuel for progress. You must also shift your perspective on the discomfort that comes with facing your fears. It's important to realize that the discomfort is temporary. Yes, it may feel uncomfortable in the moment, but this discomfort is nothing compared to the long-term suffering that comes from avoidance. The more you delay facing your fears, the more you let them control you. But when you finally confront them, you reclaim the power that fear has stolen from you. The discomfort you feel in the process of confronting your avoidance is a sign that you are growing, evolving, and becoming stronger. This process of confronting your avoidance is not just about taking action, it's about reclaiming your personal power. It's about deciding that you will no longer let fear or avoidance dictate your life. You are no longer the passive observer of your own existence, you are the active creator of your own future. When you confront your avoidance, you break free from the chains that have been holding you back, and you begin to live life on your own terms. But how do you continue on this path? How do you ensure that you don't fall back into old patterns of avoidance? The answer lies in consistency. It's not enough to confront avoidance once and expect lasting change. You must make it a habit to continually face the discomfort, the fear, and the resistance as they arise. Each time you do, you strengthen your ability to handle discomfort and move through life with greater resilience. You begin to develop a deeper sense of self-trust, because you know that you can handle whatever life throws your way. And as you continue to break through avoidance, you begin to live with a greater sense of purpose. Every action you take, every task you complete, becomes a reflection of your inner strength and your commitment to living authentically. You no longer feel like a passive victim of circumstance, but an active creator of your reality. By embracing discomfort, reframing failure, and consistently confronting avoidance, you free yourself from the cycle of fear and resistance. You move closer to the life you want, a life filled with meaning, fulfillment, and true personal empowerment. Here lies the truth, you're not avoiding tasks, you're avoiding yourself. The real transformation begins when you stop running from discomfort and start embracing it. The resistance, the fear, the anxiety, these aren't barriers to your growth, they are the very tools you need to break free. As you face the uncomfortable truths about yourself, you'll realize that discipline isn't about control, but about alignment with your true self. It's about reclaiming the power to shape your life, step by step, action by action. The ultimate lesson is simple: avoidance traps you in a life that isn't truly yours. But when you choose to confront what you've been avoiding, you unlock the path to freedom. You stop being a passive observer of your life and become the architect of your future. The discomfort you feel now is nothing compared to the deep regret of never having tried. Take control. Embrace discomfort. Break free from your own limitations. When you do, you'll find that what seemed like an impossible struggle was simply the key to your transformation all along.